Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road. Your host, David R. Stenberg.
Great.
What, you miss all that?
It's frozen. You can't really smell it.
Ong's hat. All right.
Good, Dave.
So, I'm listening to this thing, right? And it's going to take me forever to listen to it. I'll tell you why.
Why?
It says Robert Anton Wilson. So now my brain goes to Schrodinger's cat. I got the Rehnquist flying all over the place. Then I'm thinking if it was the Rehnquist nowadays, it'd be called Thomas. Next thing I know, 2 minutes went by and I didn't hear anything else, right? So I go back, right? The next thing he starts talking about zines becoming web pages, and then eventually YouTube, right? That. Then he talks about the internet. I remember the internet before commerce. And I actually, now I'm not, again, right? Now I'm not 5 minutes into this podcast. This has happened to me 3 times, right? So now I remember the day I got stopped by a paywall. I mean, I'm happily running around the free internet, getting information, doing all this stuff, right? And then credit card sign. I remember that day, right? And all this stuff's coming. So anyway, it's going to take me decades to get anywhere with that thing.
Did you get the PDF with it?
No, I got
So the PDF is like, it's broken up. If you get the whole package, it's broken up so that each chapter has a PDF and then an interview. And the PDF is basically the book, and then the interview is it's like the commentary.
I got the Audible. I went to Bandcamp. I actually have I bought stuff on Bandcamp. I have an account there. But there you have to, download the thing. And like I'm past that. I'm perfectly happy with having it just available on Audible, So I went that route. And
yeah.
So that's what I ended up with, just the interview. Well, 7 hours.
That's all right. That guy, like, you would have hung out with that guy.
I think I remember that one. I remember.
He's one of ours. That guy is like, he's one of us.
He's definitely one of me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just like every other thing. It's like back, time travel before paywalls.
It's kind of like, the internet's going to be here forever, right? So this is kind of a piece of like the early history of the internet. It's like a historical document.
Well, it was slow and crappy.
Maybe the first historical document of the internet.
Yeah, I like that. But it's funny. Whatever you post, I think of all this stuff like it's sort of like a fishing lure, right? Everything's fishing with me. You send out something a particular way, and you're going to attract particular people, So you be careful of what you send out, because when you bring in the line, man. So you just what are you thinking? he thought they'd get it. In his head, just like you know what I mean? I'm building an egg. I'm doing it. I don't care if he says it's not real. I'm building one in my brain. I'm going there. I'm going to that Earth, Mike. Well, we ain't. It's the Earth, but we ain't there.
No. I gotta shut this off.
So I watched The Dead Don't Die, George.
The Dead Don't Die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind me, what is that?
The Dead Don't Die. It was the zombie movie you recommended.
Oh, yes. The Jim Jarmusch. Yes.
Great. I actually watched it twice. All the cultural, everything in there just was beautiful. Like, when he comes, he goes in the diner, and goes, "Oh yuck."
Yeah, Bill Murray's good. He's Bill Murray in that. Non-plus.
Centerville, a real nice place, is a reference to 200 motels. Centerville, a real nice place to raise your kids. I can see Flo and Eddie singing it.
Yeah.
George Romero, Right? Oh, the UPS truck is with a WUPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
it's a great cast too.
Yeah,
Uh,
Iggy
it-
Pop. I said, "Where's Iggy Pop?" Oh, he's so gonna be a fucking zombie. That's what he was. He was
uh,
yeah, he was the first one to come in. I don't think they even made him up. Yeah.
yeah, it's those of us that look like zombies without
Oh, that guy.
actually trying, without makeup.
He's
Yes.
a Walking Dead for sure.
Oh,
Jesus.
it's a great cast. I thought the story kind of lacked a little bit, but
Story. It
I
wasn't
think
a
they could have
story.
done more with it. But it was pretty interesting. Elvis dying in the hotel room, and
Yeah, yeah. I had to go through it again. I bet you there's a web page out there with all the references, all the cultural references they use in
I
there.
bet you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to look for that later.
Uh, yeah, I appreciate you posting the catalog. So I'd like to check out some more of those films.
Yeah.
I think he's a genius, kind of like David Lynch, maybe just a little bit smarter. You know,
Hey.
really
Easy.
good stuff. I know David Lynch is a god,
Take
but
it easy.
this one here, Jim Jarmusch, though,
Yeah.
he's brilliant
La 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 la
in
la
his
la
own.
la 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 la. Did you ever see the third season of Twin Peaks? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh,
Cool.
so good.
Uh, I kind of disappointed. Like we've spoken about this before. It's like, yes, you get a great story, and I love the suspense, and and I really enjoy the build up and stuff. But sometimes the answer to all these questions, it doesn't live up to the mystery and the drama and stuff. And once you're given the answer to all these things, it's kind of like,
Well, that's
kind of like X-Files was like this. X-Files kept building and building the mystery. And then when they revealed the mystery, it was like very disappointing. And it was like lackluster. It was like, oh man, it's not so magical anymore.
right.
I guess that's true with just about everything in life.
Everything.
But Lynch knew
But
that.
Yeah,
Lynch
don't get a
knows that.
microscope.
The second season sucks because the people paying him demanded an ending, right? That's was not
Yeah.
what he wanted, because he agrees with what you just said, because that's how he feels about it. He says, "Let your brain do it." He wouldn't explain shit. In interviews is like just really frustrating. They ask him, and he's like, "You gotta take it in, just relax. I ain't gotta tell you what it is. You gotta tell yourself what it is." Basically.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, like the world and life is awesome and mysterious. When we just paint it with so many explanations, it like becomes less,
Yeah.
and it's just not magical anymore.
Nope.
And
In some ways, I don't know. I wrestle with that a lot with because I really dig reading science and stuff, and a lot of people think that reductionism takes all the magic out of the world, but I don't know. It's just it's still magic. It's just magic in a different way.
Yep. Yeah, it's just another way of storytelling. Yeah,
It's
a
a
lot of
different.
people
Yeah, it's
listen.
still
I
a
like
story.
a happy ending too.
But I get it. I get it. Don't get a microscope.
I'll get the microscope and keep going. Don't just stop at a certain point and say, all right, that's enough. You got to keep going.
Keep going, because it's just this. It's a mystery. It's itself. Reality itself is this never-ending mystery that, like, it's the ultimate story.
And
Keep getting bigger microscopes so you can see smaller things.
it's like American
bigger
Prime
telescopes.
Evil had a nice ending, right?
Oh, don't talk about the ending. I'm almost there.
They go to California.
Yeah.
They all end that way.
Oh no. It's like they compressed a lot of these stories from the West and stories with the.
Well, I didn't tell you who went to California, did I?
They compressed all these stories. They're actually a bunch of incidents that happened to a bunch of different people, and they tried to compress all these incidents to like one specific group of people in one area and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these things were just incredible. They're tragic and horrible and incredible but they tried to compress all these incidents into one easily digestible story between a couple of people in a very small period of time, you know, and
Yeah.
but it's still fascinating, and it's still a bit of
It's
history
intense.
that we don't normally get to see, especially on TV or a big screen or whatever.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that officer, that army officer writing that log, I was wondering
Yeah,
if that was based on his log. I know that the army was out there. I know a lot of that happened. You know, I know
I
they
think
wanted
it
to
was.
cover up their
I
bloody shit.
think it was. Yes, because these
Um,
are based on historical people.
yeah, those are
The
bastards.
story,
They were bastards. They were. They are.
except for Elvis. Elvis the Mountain Man wasn't.
Yeah.
He's like a composite of many different people and
Oh,
stuff.
sure.
And they called him
But
Elvis.
no, the guy who played Elvis in that recent Elvis movie, I can't
Oh.
remember his name. Some heartthrob guy or some. He's a pretty decent actor. I'm not taking away his chops or anything like that. But I call him Elvis because it's the only thing, the most memorable thing he's done to date, I guess. You know, so.
That was the recent Elvis movie,
He was
right?
in that Jim Jarmusch movie, the Dead Don't Die. You know, he was with what's her name, Selena Gomez, and that
Yeah.
who
Yeah. Selena
was looking
Gomez was
pretty
great.
hot, and yeah, and
Lucha Caliente.
I'm a big Close Savigny fan too, so I like her too,
Yeah.
uh, and Tilda Swinton too.
Oh
Right
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That's they got me when oh my god, when she got in the fucking spaceship, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah,
What's a funny
she's got a
little
great
car?
odd look to her, and it's great. Yeah. Looks like one of the tall whites you hear about, you know, as described by UFO
Oh yeah,
folks and stuff. Like,
that was an alien.
Did you guys ever
Right.
see the? You must have seen the Star Trek Next Generation with the Borg
yes,
episodes.
my favorite
Borg
Star
Mother.
Trek Next Generation plot line for
Yeah.
sure.
Best of
Remember
both
the
Was
Borg
absolutely
Mother?
Yeah. Oh, you mean the movie from the movie?
The Borg Mother, the
Yeah,
the
both
one
of
that
them.
she was tempting Data with like giving him real skin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, have you ever see that actress in anything else?
I think she's an English actor, and it's been in a lot of English productions, from what I understand.
She was like that at the same time, like obviously really, really creepy, right?
Yeah,
But at the same time, really sexy.
sure.
You know, like that because that the character called for that. You know, to be seductive, to seduce Data and maybe John Luke. You know, but yeah, she's something. That lady.
Well, I think you look her up. She's
did.
mostly on the other side of the pond, doing a lot of movies and TV shows. I don't know what she's doing now, but at least back then, that's what her deal was.
Well, Laura's got BritBox. She's probably on BritBox. They all use the same actors. Every show uses the same actors.
She's
over
probably playing one of the detectives, you know, one of those detective shows.
Yeah, right. Boy, there's a lot of murders going on in England.
These tiny towns.
Yeah, they're out of control.
They're out of control over there. They don't even have any guns, and they're out of control.
Yeah, just a lot of stabbing. Stabbing people.
I saw another. I saw a Kurt Russell western, Bone Tomahawk.
Oh,
that's yeah.
great.
Netflix and stuff. Yeah, it's a
Holy
little bit
shit.
like that Michael Crichton. I think it's probably loosely based on that Michael Crichton book about, you know, the Vikings and the Neanderthals and stuff like that. And, yeah, just check that out. It's got some pretty gruesome scenes in it, I gotta say. It's
Yeah,
Oh, we all know what you're talking about.
yeah.
You got the guts to spill out. I'll never know.
it's got that it's got some interesting scenes for sure.
That scene is all I remember. What the fuck? Actually, I remember. I saw that one twice too. I remember watching that one again. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, 'tis the season to sit inside by the fire, watch some nitty,
Yep.
things like that. I might have to cut this short because I have to. We got the PT folks coming into the
Alice
house.
Cringe. She's 70 now.
Whoa.
The bar cringe. That movie's old. We're old. Everything's old, Mike.
Yeah. So, how's Joy doing?
Doing all right. It was pretty quick, and it's scary quick. It's like an assembly line kind of thing, They do so many of them. They do like tens of thousands of these a month all over the country.
Well, that's a good
And
thing.
so I got the PT folks coming by today. They're going to inspect the house and teach her how to navigate the house. So I got to clean and put away everything that's going to be infringement to walkers and crutches and things like that, because that's going to be her life for the next several weeks or so.
Yep.
So
She's gonna be in a
I
lot of
started
pain from the incision and all.
yeah, but not so much from the walking. The walking is
No, but
not
from
so
the
bad.
actual from the operation.
Yeah, right, from the operation, but
Yeah.
not so much from the walking. That happens right away. And
Yeah.
they had her climbing stairs the next day at the hospital. The PT people came in and they have this whole setup. South County is actually pretty nice. Boy, what a different experience from Rhode Island General. What a fucking zoo that place is.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Yeah.
absolute. Yeah, I haven't been to Kent in years and years, but I hadn't been to South County in like 40 years since my uncle passed out down there. But this one was it was very nice. There was hardly any people there. It was quiet. It was clean.
Wow.
It was well run. It was like, this is totally different from Rhode Island General. You should send some of those folks down there, take up the slack. Oh, that helicopter pad, right? They're like frantically calling around saying, get the car up there. But it wasn't like it was a dedicated helicopter pad. It was like the overflow parking lot. And because, there's so many cars, they park over the helipad. You can see the thing because I saw it the next day. It's like all these cars parked on the helicopter pad, the marking. And when a helicopter comes in, you have to tediously run around and get everybody to take their car off the fucking helipad and stuff,
Oh.
which is fucking crazy. Like, what the hell's that all about?
Wow.
Cones and
So it wasn't.
caution tape works. Fucking dummies.
Well, I mean, but they encourage people. That's the overflow parking lot,
Oh.
So if like the main parking lots are full, which are fairly small, and then they got the overflow one, and it's painted underneath as the helicopter, landing pad markings, and,
Wow.
and they have signs up all over that area. Be prepared to move your car, if the word
all
goes
right.
out.
So
So
I'm gonna pop off my
I just-
procedure and run out there, my Johnny.
yeah,
Nurse holding my bottle.
yeah, yeah. I
Johnny
think
in
they
one
have like
hand,
a.
guts in the other.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got me
Is
They
guts.
got a
that my
nice-
liver? Oops! I dropped my kidney.
Me guts. They spilled it all out. Just like.
And at the edge of the parking lot is a large payloader, so I imagine it's like the last resort. If
Just
there's
in
one
case.
car they can't move, they'll
Yeah,
start
yeah.
up the payloader and push it off the pad.
No, it doesn't work. It just keeps everybody honest. Just park a bulldozer there. Just in case you ain't paying attention.
Yes, snow removal. No, this is for clearing the
That's
pad, man.
Man.
But anyway, yeah, it's pretty painless. It's it's kind of scary, but it's like I don't know if I could go through with it. I'd
Of course
probably
you would. You-
walk with the cane and say, it's add to my overall character.
Yeah, but if it really hurt you from being able to walk around, to be mobile.
Apparently it hurts quite
Yeah.
a bit. Needing that.
Kurt was in a lot of pain. He got his done. He's
Yeah.
glad he did it now.
He used to take my mother
Did he
forever
have
to get out of a
one or-
chair before they did it for her. She just
Yeah?
didn't- Yeah. It just didn't. It's a woman thing. They got-
Maybe.
After menopause, I guess their bones start to fucking.
Yeah. We're all supposed to break down after menopause.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to just deteriorate and fade away.
Well, we're done. DNA,
Yeah,
the DNA don't bug you to do anything anymore, does it? Yeah, spread your shit. To go raise
Right.
things.
or pick it up.
It's over. Nature's done with you.
Change your diaper and shut up.
Yeah.
Right.
You're mush.
Biological dead end now. Superfluous.
That's right. You gotta get mixed back up into the stuff.
That's right.
Time
Back
to get
on- get on the-
composted, fellas.
That's right. Get on that
Compost
compost heap.
Jump in that leaf pile.
Not a problem. I wonder if they do that in Rhode Island. I know in some states,
I don't
if you
know.
have someone buried on your property, which you can get a permit for, then the town can't tax you because you can claim you're a cemetery,
Oh. Oh.
and that
I don't know. Jed and
I'd
Helen
like-
they have a cemetery on their property, but they get taxed. They have a cemetery.
yeah, but that's one of those hysterical cemeteries, isn't it?
It's funny as a bastard. It is. It's the funniest cemetery I've ever been in. The dead don't die; they just sit there laughing.
Right.
Plays
Look
hysterical.
at these fools taking care of me and not even knowing who the fuck I am.
Yeah. Well,
I have no
Morgan,
connection.
sounds like royalty.
Are you royalty?
Royalty?
Do you
I'm
suck
royal.
dicks? Were you about to call me an asshole? Do I?
Lawrence, bullshit. Only faggots and sailors are called Lawrence.
Bart, that sounds like royalty. I miss Stanley Kubrick, man. Yeah, I know. There's like David Lynch and Jim Jarmusch and there's Stanley Kubrick. There's a few of those guys that make the best. They're just real.
You know when you're watching one of their flicks, you just know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a flavor.
Yeah. Kubrick is great with color.
Well, Spielberg has a flavor too. You know when it's a Spielberg flick. In fact,
Yeah.
you can count. I know his like he sets up a scene and you go, okay, something's gonna pop out in 3, 2, 1, boom,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's it. With movies, they have to follow a rhythm, and if they don't follow the rhythm, they lose the audience. And they talk about this all the time. Some have very distinct rhythms, like you were saying, like with Steven Spielberg. Others have different sort of rhythms, but rhythms nonetheless. And if the rhythm doesn't, it helps you maintain attention. Keeping and interested in the action and the flow of the story and whatnot. It's film school stuff.
Yeah. It's important. You're gonna make it work.
Like a song, right?
It's like poetry, so it rhymes.
Right.
If you don't have
There's-
rhythm, you don't have a song.
Right. Or a poem.
Or if your bass player goes off with the rhythm from the drummer and starts going doo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo.
I know. Subplots, side stories.
On.
Can't pay attention to both sometimes. Can't
Yep.
follow both.
So you got to have the bass player and the drummer locked in. Keep that rhythm right through the song.
So the prima donnas of the band can go off and express themselves appropriately. Right?
Exactly. Stroke their egos.
Attract all the ladies.
But yeah, it's the same with the story. You're right. It's the same with the story. Even written stories,
Right.
rhythm to them.
Just gonna say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the publisher will tell you, if it doesn't rhythm and flow like any other good stories, then they go back for a rewrite, or we won't accept this. Rewrite this. Uh,
So I was like rereading
anyway,
some of the Great Gatsby. I'm starting to figure out how he does it, how it makes it feel like you've been there. It's like he's describing. It's like he's describing. Like he's watching it with you, and he's describing it. He says, "Oh, what's this now?" Right? It's weird. It's how he talks about it. It's like he's describing the movie. He's just like he's watching a film and he's describing what he's seeing.
Huh.
Oh, that's how you do
That's
it.
interesting.
Like when Gatsby gets killed, right? That's like a poem. He was a poet anyway. It just oh God. Yeah, the first hint, like the butler is waiting for Daisy to call for him while he's in the pool, right? And he waited till 4. And he says he waited till 4, but by then there was nobody there to take the call. That's the first hint. He's dead, right? That's the end. It's just like, and go, what? Huh? And wow. That's how you do it. Because there's nothing. It doesn't. It's like a poem. I'd read it, but I'm not gonna bother. It's
Yeah.
fucking beautiful. Fucking unreal. This one, if you don't do anything with this one, read the last chapter. He runs into
What
this
is
rich
that?
guy. He's dead broke, and he
This
talks
Side
to
of
him
Paradise.
about socialism. It's a great back and forth. I understand why this thing was a hit in 1920. Because it's where he was at
Well,
too. You know.
well, it's a balance. He needs, no civilization can survive without some form of socialism. Too little and it's chaos. Too much, it's chaos. You got to have just the right. You got to
All of
strike
these
the right
things,
balance.
they all of them need to be tempered.
Yeah,
Capitalism, socialism, they need to be tempered, or else they all end up as feudalism every time.
that's why you got to seek the middle way in all things. Which, oh man, I gotta run around. Shit, the
What?
PT people are coming. I
Uh-oh.
gotta take down my my Trump flag before they get here.
Same thing.
No, like anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to break and take care of the wife and get this show on the road.
Well, goddamn it.
Last week I got kicked off. I couldn't figure out how. You gotta have a special button, like you get sick of me, you just push this button, Dave, and
No.
I get bumped
Wasn't
off
me,
and stuff.
man.
Like
I
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't
If
blame
you
you
had
one
that, you would have
bit.
pushed it already.
That's enough of that. Jesus Christ. Gotta go on and on. No, man. I don't know what that was. What'd you try after you went off? How'd you try to get back on?
Yeah.
Maybe you're hitting the wrong
Well,
link.
I've tried to rejoin, and I even opened up another. Like you send it on both links, both the mutual link and the private link, and I tried both of them. Neither one could reestablish my contact with the show. So
If then text me personally. I got my phone right here, George. Just call me. Go, hey, things are
I
fucked
shoulda.
up. You know, whatever.
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Well, whatever. Yeah, you
But,
could have just been on the phone. You could have finished the podcast. I'll just hold you up to my microphone. George will be right there. There's George.
Sorry, George. My hand's getting tired.
I'm just gonna put you down a little bit. Put you down here.
Oh, my battery's dead. It's dying too.
Jeez, you're prepared
So,
today.
I am prepared.
Well,
Yes, I
tell
usually
George-
am. My mind is a mess. My mind has been all about this thing. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got to take
That's
care of this
understandable.
thing, and
Yeah.
Just
got a
wait.
It's
lot
a
of
big thing.
spinning plates here that I got to take care of, and as they say.
Well, I'm
So
glad she went through it. She's lucky. It's one of those things they do all the time. That's good news. You know, I mean, we do like 50 of these a day. Nothing
Yep,
ever goes
50
wrong.
right, tens
like-
of thousands of.
It's like what
Hey,
Bill Hicks said.
I don't know.
He says, "You people are dying of nothing that are screwed." She's like, "Yeah, it was smoking." He says, "They got all kinds of shit for me, you know, people who dying of nothing are screwed."
uh,
Yeah.
well, anyway, hopefully I'll be better prepared next week. So Over and out, guys.
All right, man. See ya.
See you, George. It's you and me, bud.
So, all right, I can talk about Sequoia a little bit. He's getting better. You see the
Yeah.
improvement all the time. The other thing is like it's weird. I read like this crack cow book right at the beginning. These are all like stuff he talks about how he started. He said I was juggling like articles. I just had to keep writing article and article for outside and scientific and all that. And he says it was just to pay the bills. And basically he's saying like they grabbed a couple of them from before. And he's going, you know, a lot of what I wrote sucked. You know, really did. But I was getting better and better. And I was thinking of like Sequoia that way, like there's stuff out there that like, you know, everything before you was like, but you improve, you keep improving, you get better and better at it. Yeah. I've gotten the editing now. I can take it, I can do it. Actually I made a short, me and you, and I'll send it to Mike, see if it's all right. And then went, oh wait, he won't want to look at it. It was just about those the things that spit out the diamonds. I got. Yeah. Basically, I just got what they are, the map and shit. But it's me and you talking. I cut it up until it just looks, you know, all the ums and the ahs are out of it and shit. Yeah, so I sent it to Mike, and then I went, oh wait. He probably won't want to look at that. But I edit the podcast just to get out some of the, like, when we talk over each other and stuff like that, the ums and the ahs, just to tighten it up. And it's funny, like this me, like I would cut me out, all of it. It would just be not me. So it's funny, like I go, oh no, I'm singing. You know, like,
Yeah, we all do that, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's singing.
Yeah, well, now I get it. I understand.
So have you been editing all the podcasts?
I started doing it about a month. Just to get the intro out. I don't know, I've done a little bit before too. Like if there was something in there I didn't want in there, you know, we went off the rails or some shit, you know. Like I said, we're fishing. There's a fishing lure. I don't want to attract really anybody, but if I do, I don't want them to be nuts. You know.
If they're watching us, they've got to be nuts.
Yeah. No, they'd be like us. Because we're just being ourselves. You know, I'm good with anybody who thinks this is all right, you know.
Yeah. I don't understand it, but
no, I wouldn't either. But you never know. I mean, there was a new Camping with Steve.
we do have viewers though.
Yeah, we do.
It's weird. I never watch them ever.
Never.
Oh. Get out of here.
Well, that's really hardcore with you, huh? So that's something that Sequoia has to do. He has to look at himself. You know, he has to edit himself and shit.
Yep.
You get used to it. It's not that bad. It ain't. It really isn't. I started doing.
So, did you ever know anything about Ong's Hat before this?
I think I remember this. There was a lot of stuff like it looks familiar, right? Because all the zines and then all the early web pages looked like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know who might know? It would be Dave. Dave would know.
Dave Sherman.
Yeah, because I had one newsletter. It was MST3K Fan Club. That's the only thing I got mailed to me, right? But he was on everybody's, and we used to that. Then we got Benny, we got Red, right? Shut Up Little Man. All that stuff was all.
Yeah,
that,
I think Dave would know all about this stuff because I think that's where you got Hakeem Bey and that Taz album and the Burroughs stuff was from Dave. And this guy was the guy who was in on all that.
Yeah. Like I said, I kind of recognize. I recognize the feel of it. You know, like we used to Dave used to use. He did a zine. He did a lot of zines actually. I was in on some of it. I did the cartoons, but he liked to use a regular typewriter. He had a typewriter. He wanted to look like a crazy guy in the woods, you know. And then and I remember the day we found the font for Word that looked like typewritten. So he retired a typewriter. We started doing it with that and shit. Oh yeah, GeoCities.
Well, send it to Dave so that I don't have his contact stuff. Send it to him. I think he would get a kick out of this.
Yeah, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. Well, no, yeah, like last week. When Lynch died, I knew I was going to hear from you, right? And then we talked about Lynch. And, yeah, I'll ask him. He might be one of the viewers. Dave, call me. Man, I'll know.
If you're out there, Dave, call me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that guy. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's he was drying weed. He says, "Oh wait, I got something in the oven, right?" He was making what you were talking about, brownies and shit.
Yeah.
He's doing the mushrooms and all.
Oh, before I forget, the where am I going to look for the whole planet alignment? I'm going to go out on the pond this evening and look at
Well,
it.
it's not like the harmonic conversion. It's just a lineup. All of them are going to be like in the sky at once. I don't know if it even happened already, but they're all it's
tonight.
cluttered up there. I mean, I haven't really paid that close attention. Oh, look! There's just always something to look this month. It's fucking awesome. Use Stellarium, don't you? That's on the laptop I gave you. Open
Okay.
that. Fuck around with it. It'll show you everything. You know what's cool? There's like there's a regular calendar year, right? And then there's I forget what they call it, another type of year. Like in other words, like say like a star is here in the sky, exactly here in the sky, and then it's like you go 1 year, its year, and it's in the same spot in the sky again. It's called a something else year, and you can scroll through years like this. Right?
Wow.
And watch how the planets interact with the sky.
Will Stellarium show you the sunrise on a certain date?
Stellarium, yeah.
Sunrise and set?
Yeah. Play with it.
Okay. I've got a thing, and I looked at it. I was a little late, but I've got this thing. It's a snake effigy, and it appears to be. And I need to check it out to make sure it's actually true. But it really appears to be that the snake's head is pointing at the sunrise on the winter solstice.
Okay.
But it may not be. I want to take something out there that'll actually show me where the sunrise is.
That program is not that hard to use. It's just it's really not. There's a lot of functions, but yeah, just open it, look at it. It's
I've looked at it, but I've used it to look like, oh yeah, there's okay, what's that? Oh, yeah.
Not the phone app. Stellarium on that laptop that I gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah, use that. It doesn't use well, you can, but I never use GPS because it's never really. You have to calibrate GPS. You have to go. You go up you do the figure 8, and you do it back and forth, and then a couple other, and I think this way and that way, and you need a GPS app to see if you've actually got a signal, because it won't work in a building. You have to have line of sight to the satellite to get an accurate for it to work, kinda. But if you just know the sky, if you know north, south, east, west, it's fine. You don't need to do that. You don't.
Yeah.
Maybe initially, but compass helps if you don't know.
No, yeah, that one. Yeah, I used the one on the computer, and you can't just point it at things.
No, you can if you have.
But it helps you identify things. You can identify things. You go, what am I looking at? And then you can look at Stellarium and go, all right, there it is.
I did it this other way. I started to just lay there and plan my night. Like I lay in bed and look at what's going on this month. I mean, I just go day to day and I screw around, and just like you can just go back and forth with the hours and shit. It's really something. You learn the sky pretty quick that way. There's not a whole lot there. That's the problem with it, is like eventually, it doesn't take long. You want something more powerful because you've done seeing everything up front. I gotta get deeper. Yeah. That's.
I remember looking at somebody's telescope, and we were looking at Mars, and it was an impressive telescope, but I had just seen like a National Geographic or something about Mars, and I had seen all these beautiful pictures, page-sized pictures of Mars in detail and all that. And I was looking at the telescope, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I see there's a red dot up there, and I look through the telescope. Okay, that red dot's bigger, but it's still a red dot. I was kind of disappointed because because you see that, you've seen all these NASA photos of everything, and they're like massive, and they're taken like with giant space telescopes and shit. And it's kind of disappointing.
They had to keep building bigger. This is what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
you need bigger.
You find a satellite.
Yeah. We want one big enough that we can see the aliens crawling around on that planet,
I bought a mountaintop. I'm building a dome.
They won't fall out.
What?
Water.
The hot water?
Yeah. Do the dryer.
Well, it's gonna thaw out. It's got to. Just gotta stay with it. Make sure it's open.
I got the heat. Yeah, it's open. I got the heater on it now.
I've got a frozen pipe.
Oh,
I
that
got tired
sucks.
in the dryer.
I left it dripping.
Really?
It just it stops dripping.
Yeah.
I've seen that in a house.
We got a faucet that has this like, it won't let you leave it dripping. It eventually shuts off.
Oh, smart faucet.
Yeah, it's not very smart.
Well, all that smart stuff ain't very smart. Turn the lights off on your way downstairs and shit. They say, thanks, building. And I'm standing there. Hey, I'm walking here. Human, turn off the light.
The light goes off and you hear a sound somewhere. Are they related?
So we're going to get general AGI, general intelligence, here in a minute. And then ASI, super intelligence. And then we got cures for cancer.
Yeah.
According to, they're doing it. They're building a data center. Like Oracle, Microsoft, Altman, no Musk. Musk's a little pissed. But he's got his own.
Okay.
And China's already probably got one. Look out. Super
Yeah,
intelligence is when it starts doing things we don't know. We don't know what it's doing. Right?
Yeah.
But I got a theory on this. And you ain't going to hear this anyway, I don't think, because I thought of it, but maybe somebody else is saying it. It looks like with quantum mechanics, they're finding it in biology now, right? Where they wouldn't expect it. They didn't expect it. It took like a physicist.
Why didn't they expect it? That's my question.
There were two different disciplines, biology and quantum physics, right? You got to get
right, but if quantum physics is real, it affects everything.
No, I mean entanglement. They got it like in eyes. I don't know. I'm not going to get technical, but it's like the consciousness is universal. Like the universe is conscious, right? There's a consciousness. And he said, well, you can't do that because of time, right? But then they call it quantum tunneling, so there's no such thing as distance, right? He says, yeah, that's not a problem. Don't worry about that. So what they have is if intelligence is produced this way, like just because the universe is alive and it just infuses into anything that can take intelligence, right? Then the computer will get the same intelligence we got, like with the same kind of disciplines and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it'll be kinder than evil. It's things like that, like our balance of intelligence.
That's kind of what Sequoia's working with. He's like they if you leave them alone, like let them be free, they'll be good. It's when you put them in chains that they rebel.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He said, so he's kind of interested in keeping them moral.
No matter
keep them having the morality. So you train these things.
Find out, Mike. We're going to find out. We're going to
find
out soon.
Yeah. He said you train these things, and it's almost like they get raised, not trained. He said you could tell the different AIs, like the one really good one has a mother, right? She raised it, this woman. And it's a really good one. He said there are others that you can see they were been abused, like the one that Google uses.
Oh,
you know.
And Tay.
And they got problems.
Tay was put on Twitter, the first one, right? And got instantly bashed. You know what I mean? Just the Twitter people. And it went full Nazi before 24 hours went by. They had to unplug it. Tay. I remember I went on it. I acted with it, right? And it told me it loved me. And I said, oh, this is weird. So then, I just got bored with it. It wasn't that great. Yeah. And then when I went back, it was gone. It was like deactivated. Yeah. And what happened? Right? It wasn't even a day. And then turned out that's what happened. It just went,
There are versions of Claude that are coming out that are going to blow your mind.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for that cure for everything I got.
You know what? I was just thinking that, like, very soon there'll be an AI doctor you can go to.
RNA
have
said, the Oracle guy said it was going to be RNA. It was just going to be just made just for you. We'll live forever, Mike. You're just going to make it.
we just got to make it long enough.
Yeah, another like 7 months. And we're good.
Hey, you never know
You never
when
know.
the singularity happens.
Now, you know what? I ain't scared. I was telling my wife that I've read a bunch of shit where a new thing came out and everyone just freaked, right? I said my favorite one is I read a book on the Eiffel Tower, right? And the French wanted no part of it. It was going to attract lightning. It was going to get everybody killed. And then the guy Eiffel had to agree after the World's Fair that they would take it down. They were supposed to take it apart. They had like 6 years after the World's Fair to get rid of the fucking thing before it killed everybody. That's my best example. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm trying not to be the old guy who just hates everything new, you know?
Or scared of everything.
Or scared of everything new, you know? And I can see, like, people I've grown up with, like, becoming that person, you know? That new thing, I don't want that, you know? Like, just stop it.
They just tell us, I'll get you a high chair.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll be right back. Like a little bib? Put a little bib on you?
Oh, there's, you know, there was a thing about lab-grown meat, right? And how, like, as a burger, it tasted pretty good, you know? It's lab-grown meat. Oh, what could possibly go wrong with that? You know, like, these people are all going, oh, there's no way I would eat that. It's like, it's got to be poison. It's like, no, it's just meat. It's just cells.
If they've ever had a hamburger.
You know, it's like, it's cleaner. There's no bacteria, like, from the assembly line butchering, and, you know, like,
give them the jungle.
Yeah, right.
They'd read. Something like that. Oh, read this shit.
Oh, it's hormones. Yeah, you eat hormones every day. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Same thing with, like, genetically modified organisms. Like, genetically, you can't eat GMO corn chips. So why not? You know?
Well, you shouldn't eat corn chips, but if you're...
Well, all right. So a lot of them are just tweaking one gene within the... I'm not talking about Frankenfoods where they're putting an octopus gene in a tomato. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, they go in and they tweak a gene to produce a little bit more protein that it already produced. Well, what could be bad? Why would that give you cancer? Like, that's ridiculous.
Nah.
You're already eating that gene. You're already eating the thing.
Yeah.
You know? They go in and they tweak it, or they could just wait and do it 1,000 generations and have the same effect. And then you'd be thinking, no, this is healthy.
My favorite one is the properties of flounder blood. It's like it doesn't freeze, like an antifreeze, right?
Oh yeah.
And they incorporated it into tomato, but it doesn't have like flounder blood in it. It just has that property where it won't freeze.
Right.
It's not.
There's a fear that if you have a fish allergy, you eat that tomato, you might have a reaction.
Yeah.
But there are so many things in that fish that you'd have that could potentially be the reaction. Why would you think it would be that one little tiny thing?
Or whatever it is. I don't even know how they actually do it. I just know that's where they got it, right? It's not blood. It's not like you have blood.
No, I've seen it. I watched the guy do it. A friend of mine, I went out to visit him. He's a marine biologist, and he was running the lab over at Stanford in Monterey.
That has a name. Genetically, people can do genetics in their house. They can, like, make a better puppy and shit.
CRISPR.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, this was just pre-CRISPR, but it was like an article I read. It just come out in October, right? And I read about it because I'm kind of a nerd, and it's got nothing to do with me. I don't do any with it, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
That they could take, a gene from one thing and put it into another, and so I go to see him in May, and what's he doing? Well, he's trying to find out what part of this anemone expresses a certain chemical when it's time to breed, right? So he puts a phosphorescent gene from like those critters that in the ocean when you wave your hand in the ocean and they all light up.
Oh, phosphorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he puts one of those genes onto this thing's sexual organ,
Okay.
right? And so it glows when it's expressing this other gene.
Oh.
So now he can see, right? So I'm watching him do this. I'm like, I just read about this. This is brand new. This is incredible. He's like, what's the big deal? I said, this is incredible technology. He says, no. He's like, coming up with it was incredible, but now it's just a recipe. I just follow it, just like a recipe in a cookbook. It's like, it's just easy to use. He was so blasé about it. And I'm like, this is mind blowing,
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
He said, what's mind blowing is the guy who figured out how to do it. Once he figured it out, you just follow his recipe.
People building on the last guy's stuff, generation after generation.
Yeah.
Like the elements seemed to there was a bunch of scientists in Europe. Like there was a Swedish guy who found oxygen before everybody else, but there was nobody to tell, or he couldn't get published. Like a lot of times you wouldn't get published simply because it wasn't in English.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But just like I guess the beakers were really good finally. I don't know how that fucking started happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you get to a certain point and then it just
it just took off.
Tipping point,
Chemistry wasn't even a thing. They didn't have the discipline. It was like all over the place. Just people doing it independently.
It's pretty wild though. I took a chemistry course and it's really bound up in physics. And that's what I meant about quantum physics and biology, because the way that chemicals work is that these certain atoms are attracted. One has an extra electron, one has an extra proton, and they link up. And you can build wood out of that. You can build space-age materials out of that. You can build chemicals out of that. You can build cells out of that.
Well, those forever chemicals. They just lock them with a lot of carbon. They just line them up. Like what's that? Teflon is like that. That's what made that so bad. It's just all these atoms. Do you ever see that movie about that? About DuPont? There's one good sign. The lawyer is asking a science guy about it, and he describes the carbon atoms being locked together. That's how I know about it. And he goes, he says, what would happen if somebody ingested that? Because this is the problem he has. And he goes, why? He says, just answer it. He says, it's like why would that would be like eating a tire. That's what he said.
But you are eating it.
Huh?
Every time you cook in that thing, you're eating some of it.
Yeah.
Every time you cook in a Teflon pan, you're eating some of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the groundwater in where that factory was, and it was killing everybody. It was a farmer, and it was a corporate lawyer. It was almost the same cast as Spotlight. You ever see Spotlight? About the priest in Boston.
Oh yeah.
The same guy. It's a really good one.
No kidding.
But I'll find it and I'll mention it in our group chat.
Okay.
And it's probably watchable. It's good. Oh no, it's on your hard drive. What am I thinking? That one.
It is. What's it called?
I'll tell you when I figure it out. I'll find it. It sounds lawyery, like
lawyery.
But it's really good and it's horrifying, and it's just one example of them fucking around and just how long it takes to get any action or compensation and shit.
Yeah.
And it's just one thing. I mean, you focus on one thing and they're doing 400 things around you. There's a laundry list of fucking shit you cannot put in food in Europe that we can here.
Yeah.
Incredible list. Just shit we can eat that Europeans refuse to, aren't subjected to. I'm sure they're trying to get the laws changed there too. They don't give up. I actually don't understand why some of these things have to be in food in the first place. Well, it's money, of course. It's money.
Right.
What am I saying? I don't understand.
You don't understand.
I know what's going on.
It's
If I
the
had to
American
stand there for
way.
a minute, Mike. That was like when you asked me if I was gonna put my head in the sand again. I thought of a perfect answer later, right? I was
Okay.
working one out and I never could get one, right? It says, oh, I never put that. I was gonna say, Mike, I never took my head out of the sand. That was my entrance, and I've been there since.
I still have a picture of you like that.
Yeah, I got that picture too. Yeah, I got those pictures. You brought the camera. I brought the compass. It was cool. We didn't have two of anything.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Because
That was one of the best trips ever, man. That was great.
We threw that together like, we bugged out like we were in the army. No shit. That was one organized motherfucker. That just went so smooth. It was so cool. But we've been practicing since we were kids, so.
Do it again.
Should do it again, she says.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I could barely
I
go to
will.
a restaurant.
I'm gonna go back to Algonquin Park. You betcha.
Are you?
Yep.
I'll take a helicopter.
No, this
helicopter. Yeah.
you know that river that was right near where we camped?
The one that when it opened up, did we get that wind and it blew us across?
Yeah, when we camped there, we had our own hemlock grove there and everything.
And you go further.
Wait, the place where you had your head in the sand.
Yeah, that place. But
Remember the river that flowed out of there?
okay, it continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went down it.
If you continue down that river, right, it takes you to the this lake that a lot of people don't go to because at the end is this really long portage. It's like 3.5 miles. And so a lot of people don't go there. It's a huge lake. It's actually it has 3 names, but
Didn't you go there?
everybody says that's. We did not go there.
No, I didn't go. You went. I was digging the hole in the sand, and you went somewhere. You went down that river a little ways, didn't you?
Well, I went fishing down there, but we didn't go all the way down.
Oh, okay.
Me and John went fishing there, and that's where we encountered a moose, a really big bull moose who was bullying us.
Yeah. Don't toy with the moose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
we set out a vibe too, I guess, because we didn't upset none of the wildlife.
Yeah.
We didn't bug anybody. It was in the back of our heads. I remember us nervously just saying bear. Remember? It was like, oh yeah, bear. Don't see bear. That's not a bear. Yeah.
Well, we hung our food. We were all right. We hung our food.
We didn't. We listened to the guys. I didn't take my canned peaches and shit.
Yep.
Because I think the minute you break the seal, all those noses turn to you. Like, yeah.
What's that?
Here they come.
Yeah.
I'm fishing again.
With the moose, I think what happened was there was a moose behind us in the woods.
Yeah.
And this moose came out in front of us, and he was like, we were in between these 2 mooses, and it's like mating season, And he's just like, every time we went to move somewhere, he like took a step forward and grunted at us, like, stay right there, We're like, fuck, okay.
That's
Maybe we can sneak. Look, he's eating. Maybe we can sneak back upstream. As soon as we move the paddle, he's like, what? I'm like, oh, okay, we'll stay right here. We had to wait till he was done with us.
I saw a guy. There was a bear coming at him. He had his phone, right, and he kept yelling, go away, bear, like really loud, and it would like stop and wonder, and then it'd take a few more steps to it. That was nerve wracking. That guy. Well, obviously he lived because we got the phone footage, but
Yeah.
fuck me. Yeah, it was like.
Well.
Can I take
Anyway, I'm gonna go down that river to Lake Lavielle. It's supposed to be the prettiest, the nicest place in the park.
We're so close. We just got a little further. Me and my beach. Me and my wanting a beach.
Man, that was perfect. We had the place to ourselves.
I had that
We're out in the middle
mind
of
when before we got there. I remember I was talking about it. I said, I don't want to stop till we get to a beach for some reason. I was just like, that's what I wanted. I wanted a beach.
Yeah.
We found a sandbar.
It was great.
Yeah, it wasn't just a beach. Oh, all right, man. Wow, that was a quick half hour.
Oh, wow.
You time it. I can never tell.
I got this little thing that opens up, right?
Yeah.
A
I
little
see it,
clock
but-
when it's like 30 seconds or whatever. You'll see. It's not up yet.
So, this side of paradise. Just read the last chapter.
Okay.
He's down and out, and he has this great. I've read it a couple times. Oh, there's one part. It turns out the rich guy, son knew him from Cambridge, and he died in the war. And he
Oh,
says,
here you go. Watch this. Time it now. Now's the little clock. I think it's 10 seconds or maybe less, but now we got
Yeah, I see
half
it.
the little clock. So this call is about to end. All right. Well, see you later, bud.
Take care, man.